very warm welcome to the fabulous Marriott Grosvenor Square, and thank you to Marriott for hosting us today. This is our third attempt at trying to launch this guide and commitment. The irony of cancelling a sustainability event because of 40 degrees heat was not lost on us in July, and sadly our last attempt at hosting this event fell within the period of national mourning, so third time lucky, and I'm delighted that you're able to join us here today. As Mark said, we've got a great programme full of information, insight, tips and tricks for how we can demonstrate that hospitality is at the forefront, not only of driving economic growth, which is the government's new priority, but driving that growth in a sustainable and environmental way. And ahead of that panel discussion that we've got, I'm delighted to present the very first Hospitality Environmental Sustainability Commitment. I'm going to have to work out how I pronounce that. As you all know, the hospitality sector has been beset by challenges in recent years, particularly the ravages of the pandemic, but then more latterly soaring energy costs. And I do think that that energy environment, that fragility of the supply chain, those critical infrastructure pieces around food supply, energy sustainability, and potential threats of blackouts does give us a real focus for today's activity. How can we make our energy supply chain more sustainable? How can we make our general supply chains more sustainable as we drive forward for growth? And since January, we have been challenging the government on energy costs. Our sector, canary in the coal mine as always, was the first one to see those impacts on bills with 150% increases coming through in January. And I'm really pleased that yesterday the government listened and extended that energy support package to those businesses that signed contracts from the 1st of December. So our sector that was hit in the first quarter was going to be excluded from the energy support guarantee. It is now included, and there's work that's ongoing to make sure that that is as supportive as possible, and critically moving forward with the government for that 3-month review of energy and that longer term strategy for energy security. Support is really welcome, but we know that this winter will be brutally tough for many of us. You can already see the dip in consumer spend and consumer footfall coming through as disposable incomes tighten and customers face a cost of living squeeze, and then the cost of doing business squeeze remains ever more tight, which is why we will continue to push for additional support to give our businesses the headroom to be able to make the investments that we need to be more sustainable, to be green, to do the right thing for the future. But we have that critical period for the next 6 to 12 months where the battle is for survival. So a VAT cut would give us an injection and the headroom to be able to continue to invest, and a business rates holiday with incentives for green investment would also help us to deliver that. We're already seeing the energy crisis impact on business operations. Earlier this year, a quarter of our members said that they were restricting hours, restricting operations, restricting capacity, closing for certain days of the week, largely because of the impact of labour shortages. But now when you add energy onto that, 50% of our businesses are reporting that they are closing or voluntarily restricting their activity. And in parts of the country, you are going to see hospitality go dark over the winter. And if you are not going to be having Hogmanay taking place in parts of Scotland because of energy costs, that shows how significant it is. There are opportunities, however. We've seen businesses take an even greater and deeper interest in reducing their energy use, in greening their energy use, in decarbonising, and in reducing and eliminating waste and looking at new technologies to do that. And that's what today is all about, and it's part of the journey that we are helping our businesses go through as we take the continued focus on from carbon net zero towards a greener, more sustainable energy support. And that's why at the heart of our approach is this new environment commitment and 10 pledges that go alongside it. The issue is one of collaboration between businesses, between partner bodies and between sectors, and it's a partnership between industry and government to deliver that growth, to learn from what others are doing. And while there's always a competitive advantage from cutting energy costs, there's collective benefit from ensuring that our sector is at the forefront of decarbonising and demonstrating once again that we are committed to being good corporate citizens and doing the right thing. What we're unveiling today would not have been possible without the input from many of our fantastic hospitality business members. A lot of them are featuring on the panels and the presentations that we've got today and in the products that you can see next door. And we'll continue to collaborate with the Zero Carbon Forum, RAP, the Sustainable Restaurant Association, Sky Zero, and government colleagues as we support our moves towards transitioning to net zero. Tim is a redoubtable campaigner and support and voice to government. He's chairing the Hospitality Sector Council Sustainability Working Group, and we're inputting into the Sustainability Group at the Tourism Industry Council and the Food and Drink Sector Council. So 3 big, important departments across government getting the message that hospitality, despite all the challenges we are facing, despite the battle for survival, is doing the right thing and is key to their future delivery. The commitment that we launched today is at the heart of what the industry will be doing. It covers a wide range of environmental sustainability issues and shows how seriously we take the impact that we have on the physical environment. It'll be incredibly challenging, but the blueprint is there to get us there. We're committing to reduce food waste by 50% by 2030, eliminating unnecessary plastic by 2025, and will promote WRAP's high-impact quartile commitment and plastics pact to be able to deliver that, and through the Carbon Net Zero Forum continuing to drive forward so that we reduce our carbon emissions by 2030 and our supply chains by 2040. They are ambitious targets, and for a sector that is made up largely of SMEs, they will be challenging to deliver. But if we all make small changes in our business operations and in our daily lives, then it can build up to a huge impact. And that's exactly what the commitment and the guide is about. So our Environmental Sustainability Guide is the first of the commitments that we as the industry as a whole are delivering on, because it provides those tips, tricks, identifies the best practice experience that we can do to make practical steps to deliver on the commitment. And also at a hospitality sector level, it supports our wider ambitions in transport, investment in EV charging points, working with government across all of the different channels to ensure consistency of approach, and getting the buy-in from team members through embedding environmental issues and sustainability in our T-levels, in our apprenticeships, and in our in-work training. So the guide will help people to look at that. It's a wealth of information, primarily aimed at the SMEs in the sector, but benefit for everybody to be able to look at simple steps that can be taken to improve the environmental impact and, crucially, in this current environment, cut costs. It's supported with case studies, templates, clear, achievable goals, and pulls together best practice in different focus areas: energy usage, skills, supply chain, waste, and biodiversity. But this commitment in itself delivers nothing. It's great that it's a milestone that we're publishing it today and publishing the guide. It signals a direction of travel and a clear statement of intent from UK Hospitality, but it does require all of the businesses and partners across the sector to commit to using it and implementing it within their own businesses and delivering that. It's in the interests of all of us to make this a success for hospitality businesses, for sustainable growth, and for the planet.